Thank you for clicking on the video. Link is in the description, and now let's hop in the video. Title: Ada for blocking my husband and considering divorce after him not prioritizing our family. For a little context, I have not been feeling very well. My physical health has been decaying because of my periods. I lose too much blood. This affects my hemoglobin and the rest of the normal functioning of my body. Yes, I have seen the OB/GYN specialist, but they find nothing wrong in my reproductive organs. I got my period and went to the doctor's office because the pain was unbearable and I was losing lots of blood. When I arrived, my blood pressure was on the limits of normal, 100/60. Taking into consideration the amount of blood I was losing, doctors immediately transferred me in ambulance to the nearest hospital. While I was being transported, I tried calling my husband and sent me directly to voicemail. I sent him text messages and no response. I then called my mom and my baby's nanny because I wouldn't make it home for a few hours. I was treated by doctors, they inserted lots of needles, but I was getting better. An hour later, my husband texted me back just saying that he hadn't seen his phone and asking how was I. I explained that my mom was with me at the hospital, but our daughter was home alone with the nanny. He then told me that he couldn't make it home either. No explanation, he just told me, "I wish I could and I would have gotten home early if I had seen the messages earlier, but unfortunately I didn't, so I can't." Excuse me? Your wife is at the hospital. Your daughter alone with the nanny, and why the heck he couldn't go take care of her? After demanding an explanation of what could be more important than his family, he told me that he couldn't make it home because his male best friend needed help. I was shocked. I felt unimportant and betrayed. Supposedly your family should be your number one priority. And we weren't his. I don't even care what his friend needed him for. I bet that could have waited in cases of emergencies like these. I am writing this down from the hospital still, just trying to get it off my chest. I blocked him. I don't even know if I really want to talk with him about how he made me feel. I am considering separation and divorce. If I couldn't count on him today, what assure me that this won't happen again? Update number 1. Hello everyone on Reddit. Thank you all for all your kind, sweet words and support. I didn't expect to receive that much comments. I tried to read much as I could, but they're too much. I really appreciate you taking the time to read me and sharing your different opinions on the matter. I just needed to vent how I was feeling and also read other people's point of view because I thought, maybe I could be wrong and overreacting. This is not the first time he doesn't prioritize us. I guess I'm reaching my limit. Anyway, I unblocked him after a few hours because if anything worse happened, he had to be able to contact me and vice versa. So, I spent most of the night in the hospital. It was the first time I came in because of my period. I was pretty scared, to be honest. My vitals were syncing up to point it was 80/50ths last time. I was kinda aware of my surroundings. Fortunately, my mom stood by my side the whole time. She said I was totally pale and unresponsive. I don't know what would have happened if she wasn't, because then I would have been all alone. Doctors gave me a blood transfusion and 4 liquids in order to keep me safe. My hemoglobin levels were way too low because of the amount of blood I had lost the past 2 days. I got discharged once my vitals were stable and I was feeling better. I really wanted to go back home to my daughter. She must have been scared too. I said it's my baby, but she's a 4-year-old toddler. As a mom, she's still my baby. Sorry if I confused you guys. I'm now resting at home after speaking to my boss that I was not okay and had a medical leave. Yes guys, I have my own income. I'm an elementary English teacher. Anyway, the nanny was very comprehensive and kind. She had to spend the night, so I obviously paid her the overtime and also a generous tip as gratitude. My husband never showed up. Neither to the hospital or home. I finally texted his male best friend to know what the fuck was happening as he disappeared and clearly didn't care for me or his child. And we were right, it was not a life or death situation. His male BF told me that yesterday he had an emergency with his mother and asked for my husband's help. Apparently she had a cold that was getting worse, so they thought it was pneumonia or C-19. Fortunately she's okay and it was just a false alarm. His BF, let's call him Bob, wasn't even aware I have spent most of the night in the hospital. It was not my call to tell him, it was not his fault. So I thought it wasn't fair for me to storm off over him while he had no fucking clue of what was happening. I personally believe it is also important to support your friends, but what I don't understand is why he needed specifically my husband. He has siblings and his father who could take care and help his mom. I thought maybe he needed my husband's money, but he could have just transferred it to his bank account and come to our family. Instead, he spent the whole night with his Bob's family and stayed over. He left early from their house to go to work. In all that time, he didn't call or text to see how I was doing or if the baby was okay. I'm still very angry, disappointed and heartbroken. I guess I just proved my whole point, even though we are his nuclear family, we're not his priority. As far as I know I could be dead and he wouldn't been seen up until my funeral. My friends and family are coming over in order to help me with my baby and to care for me. I'm feeling pretty weak, but after all, grateful that I'm alive. I'm still anemic, feeling weak, and we haven't spoken yet. And not even a freaking text to see how I'm doing while he's at work. I'll update you once we do, but definitely doesn't look good for him. I don't deserve this BS, neither does my daughter. I do love him, but I love myself even more and I'm receiving not even the bare minimum. Update number 2. Hey everyone! I'm sorry I wasn't able to update you sooner, I've had a lot going on. Thanks again for your best wishes and the support I received. So, I went to my doctor's appointment yesterday and the doctor that checked on me was a total ass. She didn't even let me explain my whole medical case, such as the tests that have been done previously, the symptoms, amount of blood discharge, nothing. She just asked basic questions and ordered other tests. Once they're done, I am supposed to see her again. I'm not fucking going with her. I already called my insurance and requested for another doctor who actually gives a fuck. As for my husband, we finally spoke. He apologized and recognized he was wrong and kept on giving excuses. I listened to what he had to say, but I finally told him that this was a deal breaker for me and that we should separate for a while. I was not going to deal with his BS anymore, and neither will my daughter. I did not hesitate, not even once. I didn't cry in front of him. He was trying to fool with the wrong person. He packed up his shit and left. I don't care where he went or with who, I just wanted him out of my house. As soon as he left I broke down and cried again, but he will not hurt me or my daughter ever again. He has no idea I have a scheduled appointment with a divorce lawyer. He will be served soon, I hope. As for myself, I am recovering and feeling a little stronger. Thank you all, again.